I can't believe I have to make this video, but I keep on getting notified about a guy who keeps on stealing my thumbnails and is doing better than me. And I don't know why, but this is like the third time it's happened this week. And honestly, never in a million years did I think somebody would be stealing content from my channel out of all places. Which, does that mean I made it? Is this the top of the mountain? I don't know, but let me explain the instances this week where people have stolen my thumbnails for their own profit. And if you remember a few days ago, I made a video called Scuffed Roblox Gore Games, and we were playing really just bad gore games in general. And honestly, that video is really fun, and it's still one of my personal videos to make, even if the video didn't necessarily do that well. However, that's not really important though, because in the part of the video, I did mention that there is a game using my thumbnail for their game. That image is just a cropped image of one of my thumbnails. And the game in question was called Blood Overhaul. And if that sounds remotely familiar to you guys, it's because I have made videos on this game in the past and I told you not to play it. You can't make this up. I have literally made a video about this game and telling people how bad it is. If you don't believe me, here's the clip. Come on, Blood Overhaul. Do better. Be better. Stop stealing gore. It's unhealthy for society. But honestly, I thought it was really funny that somebody stole my thumbnail for their game, and perhaps I should have did my research about this game because honestly, it had like 1.2 thousand players on it, so I'd assume it was its own little original gore game. And because of that, I was more happy that somebody was actually using my thumbnail rather than mad, up until I realized that this game is just a blatant cash grab and they're using my stuff for their profit. And a quick side note, if you are an original gore game and you made your own engine and you made all the gore and you want to use my thumbnail for your game, go crazy. I don't care. But what I do care about is when people are using my thumbnail to promote their garbage, awful, stolen cash grab games. And so I DM'd the owner of this game and a few of their staff members, which we'll get into in a second. But the owner, of course, is a crypto bro and has a NFT as their profile picture. 2024 is a crazy thing, man. So being kind of annoyed by this guy, I DM'd him, and you know, I'm gonna be honest, I wasn't the nicest. I really just opened up with, yo, sent a picture of the stolen gore, and I said, please change the thumbnail to your game. I want absolutely nothing to do with it. And if you thought this person would give me a reasonable response, yeah, you thought wrong. Because his only response was, bro, come on! I was dumbfounded, honestly. I said, no way, that is your response to this. And then he sent me a screenshot of him crediting me in the description, which it doesn't make it any better. Plagiarism is still plagiarism. Even if you credit the person, it is still plagiarism. And then he asked, what was wrong with this game and why did I not like it? And I kept it straight. The game is a blatant cash grab. And then he doubles down. He says, I know, but it isn't like the Redbox clones, which it doesn't make it any better. And this is really a common theme with these people. They do something wrong, they know it's wrong, but then they're like, well, look, everybody else is doing it, so why can't I do it? Which, if that's your main line of defense for an argument, you are wrong. You are in the wrong. Anyone with a basic moral compass knows that stealing is wrong, and profiting on it is even more wrong. But the guy alleges that he quote-unquote bought the engine some years ago from a person, which there's no verifiable proof of this ever happening because the gore engine got leaked. And honestly, if a person is willing to steal from me, their credibility really isn't that good when it comes to stealing other people's work. However, he did agree to change the icon, which we'll get to that in a second because there's more to it, but I wanted to backtrack to one of his admins or his quote-unquote developers because apparently he was a little bit mad that I wanted to take his icon down, so he told his developers about it, and which one of them actually came to me very mad, which I don't understand how you can be mad at me because you guys stole my stuff and then got mad at me when I got mad that you stole it. Like, how entitled are these people? I don't get it. Like, just take the L and move on. But this guy comes to my DMs and opens up with, corny, you can't be moaning at people about stolen engines when you get paid by YouTube to play games made by Nazis. Which is such a crazy statement because last time I checked, I'm pretty sure none of the Roblox core developers are Nazis to my knowledge. Yes, we've had run-ins with them in the past, but it's pretty clear that these people are just immature and not Nazis. And this guy also comments that I make money off exposing people for using stolen engines, which apparently it's wrong. And I thought this was so funny, I just replied with skull emojis. And we go back and forth for a little bit about why it's wrong. And then he says a crazy statement, which this is hilarious. He said, the original gore games aren't better than the cash grab. Why do you think nobody is playing Untitled Shooter 2? And I don't know if it takes a genius to realize why Untitled Shooter 2 is not doing so well. I mean, maybe a part of it could be the fact that it was moderated by Roblox a million times, or maybe the fact that it hasn't been updated in God knows how long. Like, I don't understand how somebody could be so wrong. And so I say, he's not paying you, little bro. You don't have to glaze so hard. And just in like any classic nerd emoji fashion, he said, actually, I am getting paid. And then just like that, all the stars aligned. It all made sense why this guy is so mad at me. But before we move on to the YouTube guy, I actually want to explain one last thing that I thought was really interesting with this group of people. Because I'm only really telling you the very surface of these conversations. These conversations went for a long time. And the longer they went on, the more I realized how much of a piece of shit these people are. Because not only are they stealing from people, including me, and making money off of it, they know what they're doing. But when you tell them what they're doing is wrong, they just become like some kind of social justice warrior and hide behind the fact that the guy was a quote-unquote allegedly, and because of that, it makes it okay. And whenever you call out these people for doing this, you're like, oh, so you're defending a I'm like, no, I'm not defending the guy, but stealing is wrong. And this guy goes on and on and on about how cool he is because he's stealing from a like, I'm not joking. He's literally bragging about this. And so I ask him, what about the victims? Are they getting any compensation? Do they even know that you're using this person's gore engine? And are they happy about it? And you'll never believe what they said. They obviously pocketed all the cash for themselves and never contacted the victims of the alleged. So really, instead of these guys quote unquote doing good, they are just hiding behind the fact that this guy's an alleged and it makes it okay. When in reality, they don't care about the victims. They don't care about anything. They just want the money. And of course, a day later, the icon was still there. And so I was basically telling them like, yo, you got to take this down, man. And they refused to do it until they had a new icon because, and I quote, it would hurt their player count. I mean, leave it to a crypto bro to be the absolute scum of the Roblox website, but you know what it is. We got way too sidetracked because now I actually want to go back to the main issue of this video of somebody actually stealing my thumbnails for their own gain. The person in question is a dude called Jello, and he has 2 YouTube channels, both of which just seem to be uploading stolen content. Or I say stolen, most likely just the thumbnails are stolen because when I actually checked the actual video, it's original content, but unfortunately, I can't do anything against these people. As far as I'm concerned, there's nothing really copyright or against the rules on YouTube of stealing somebody else's thumbnail and then using it for your own video. The only way YouTube would not like it is if he stole my video and just re-uploaded it on his channel. But I still can't wrap my head around the fact that somebody would even take the time to steal my stuff. Because I don't know about you guys, but I still find myself being the same way I was at 1,000 subscribers. Yes, I might have 400 something thousand subscribers on YouTube, which I love every single one of you guys. It's just the fact that it's really hard for me to wrap my head around the fact that that many people are actually watching me and that there's actually a market around things that I've made. It doesn't feel real, and I guarantee if you ask any other YouTuber, they'll probably say the same exact thing because at the end of the day, it's kind of weird. Like, if you ask a YouTuber, why do you think your viewers watch you? Most of them will probably say the same thing and like, I don't know, I guess I make good content, but I'm giving myself too much credit here. People aren't really stealing from me because of who I am or anything like that, because at the end of the day, I'm a smaller time Roblox YouTuber. Thankfully, we're not at the point where people are using my name as clickbait, but when you have over 1,800 videos on a platform, at least one of them is bound to take off. And these people aren't necessarily stealing from me because of who I am. They're mostly just stealing ideas that are gonna do really, really well on YouTube, because I guarantee Spanish YouTube is just now experiencing what we experienced with Roblox Gore in 2023 and 2022, which is amazing because, you know, having more people included in a community that you like is awesome, but what sucks about it is that the people who are promoting it and people who are benefiting off of it aren't actually taking the time to actually even care about the scene itself. Like, it really isn't that hard to get in contact with these people that make the gore because they're all small-time developers. If you really cared about the Roblox gore community, you wanted to show it off in its best fashion, you would want to go to these people and ask, hey, can I get a commission for a thumbnail? Which is what I did. And as far as I'm concerned, judging by the fact that this guy literally just ripped my thumbnail, I assume that he did not contact anybody who does anything about Roblox gore. And if you're like, well, maybe there's a language barrier, that doesn't matter. Roblox has in-game translation, and there's something called Google Translate that you can talk to people over Discord with in different languages. It's not that hard, but I'm gonna really leave this at a question. What do I do in this situation? What can I do? Because I feel like no matter what I do in this situation, I lose. Because if I say nothing about it, I lose. They profit, they win. If I say something about it, more attention is gonna go to them, and they're gonna potentially profit even more from me talking about it, which is also another loss for me. I can't go to YouTube about it because YouTube doesn't really have a rule against stealing people's thumbnails. And it's not like Roblox is going to do anything about the game that was actively stealing from me. So really, besides the ad revenue I'm going to make from this video, which it probably won't be that much because I guarantee not a lot of people really care about this, what do I do? As funny as it is that people are stealing from me, it's not that good of a feeling. And at the end of the day, when somebody steals your work or takes credit for something that you did, it's just not a good feeling in general. So really, what do I do?